As more people entrust their personal data to global organizations, the GDPR is Europe drawing a firm line in the sand. So whether exposing the personal data of EU citizens was a simple blunder or a high-tech breach, the GDPR plays a sad song on the world's smallest violin and then slaps you with a €20 million fine. So today, we're covering 3 of the best strategies to comply with the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, as well as what happens when you fail to meet their strict standards. Stick around to the end, where we'll take a look at the #1 software for automating GDPR compliance. But first, we need to ask. The GDPR is, quote, the toughest privacy law in the world, and it went into effect fairly recently, back in May of 2018. Its main goal is to control how companies collect, use, and save personal data of people related to the EU. And this applies not just to people that are currently living there, but all EU citizens anywhere in the world who are working or living abroad. And with 452 million people fitting that criteria, there's potential for all of that data to become uncontrollable pretty fast. But what exactly is classified as protected data by the GDPR? The types of protected data include basic personal identifiers such as names, addresses, and then online identifiers like IP addresses and sensitive data like health records and biometric data. So if your business has a presence in the EU or sells to EU citizens, then it's your responsibility to handle it with care. But what exactly are we hoping to accomplish today with all of these GDPR compliance strategies? To properly inform our strategies, let's go over the 7 pillars of GDPR. First up is lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. And this means that all the data processed has valid legal basis, and no one is being misled about why their data is being collected. Next is purpose limitation. Once you define a reason for collecting the data, you have to stick to that and that alone. Third is data minimization. Keeping things need to know is not only easier for you in terms of risk, but is also more peace of mind for your clients and constituents. The GDPR does come after you if they deem your data collection is excessive. Next is accuracy. Somewhat self-explanatory, you want to make sure that the information you have is up to date. Fifth is storage limitation. Once the data you collect has served its purpose, securely delete it and just forget about it. And this really minimizes the risk of someone hacking in and then just selling it all over the web. Sixth is integrity and confidentiality. GDPR expects you to implement both technical and organizational safeguards like encryption, access controls, or regular audits based on the sensitivity of the data, the volume, and the risks involved. Last but not least is accountability. All personal data collected, where it's stored, who has access, and why it is needed should be tracked and legitimized. Regular team trainings, as tedious as they may be, really do help with mitigating lawsuits and fines. The penalties for not protecting this data are absolutely devastating, with minor infractions incurring fines up to 10 million euros or 2% global annual turnover, whichever's higher, up to 20 million euros or 4% global annual turnover for major data breaches. And with 7.1 billion euros collected in just under a decade, they're not playing around. And of course, naturally, there are exceptions such as archives, statistical research, or scientific and historical research, but generally speaking, this is the framework that we have to go off of. So, with all this in mind, let's check out the first of our top 3 strategies for GDPR compliance. But before we dive right in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video to learn how to shore up your organization from data breaches and stay ahead of all data subject access requests. A major problem with GDPR compliance is that many organizations think that it's just a one-time process, or they treat it like an afterthought. This strategy requires building data protection directly into system workflows so that personal data is sanitized before it ever gets processed, shared, or analyzed. When an organization collects unstructured files from audio interviews to CCTV footage or internal personnel documents, modern redaction tools like CaseGuard can automatically find and redact PII, PHI, and PCI right as it comes in, rather than it taking weeks for teams to just scramble together and then spend countless hours manually redacting right ahead of an audit. In the meantime, CaseGuard automatically generates tamper-evident audit logs and redaction reports that provide legal proof that data minimization rules were fairly applied during every release. Zero Trust assumes all networks are exposed, meaning files transferred across teams or external boundaries must be secured at rest and in transit. Not checking the compliance of all of your third-party vendors is another mistake that leaves agencies in the crosshairs of the GDPR. And unlike cloud-based tools that require uploading sensitive unredacted files over the internet to third-party servers, CaseGuard runs as a 100% local, on-premise application. Data never leaves your infrastructure, completely eliminating third-party cloud breach vectors. CaseGuard also features a team space that allows password-protected areas where different users from different departments can access, redact, and export assigned files securely. The unified admin view lets the human review be an integral part of the data security process, which will always be a permanent part of every compliance strategy. Which brings us to the last, but most certainly not least, strategy for GDPR compliance. And this strategy is for those who deal with data subject access requests that are on a tight 30-day turnaround time or mandatory data retention purges. Tools like CaseGuard permanently anonymizes personal data within exported media by burning redactions directly into the file pixels or audio tracks and stripping invisible digital metadata. This transforms raw, personal media into anonymized assets that can be safely archived or shared without violating storage limits. To demonstrate true accountability, an organization must fulfill rights requests promptly without missing deadlines. CaseGuard's AI automation executes video, audio, image, and document redaction up to 32 times faster than manual processes, clearing DSAR backlogs and providing instant compliance proof for regulatory audits. If the 7 principles of GDPR are your guiding light to staying compliant, and these strategies align with how you want your organization to handle PII, PHI, and PCI, then CaseGuard is the redaction solution that makes them work. By providing 100% on-premise, AI-powered redaction that is 32 times faster than manual scrubbing, abstract rules become automated, audit-ready workflows. So go to our website and book a demo with the link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.